These are the exact tools running my business, and I will show them step by step, explaining how I use them, how can you use them, the best use cases, and talking about it. So we'll walk through Cloud, Lovable, ElevenLabs, Google Flow, Gemini, ChatGPT, Keak, and my own apps that are the most important one because are customized just for what I need. So let's get straight to it.
The AI that matters every day.
So first we'll talk about cloud. That this is the one that I use most. Like 95% of the time I am using cloud. And first I'm going to explain about the different things that are in cloud. There is the chat that you may use it in the browser or inside the app that is used for quick thinking, brainstorming ideas, writing, and it doesn't have files or code. Then inside the chat, if you go to the desktop app, you can see the co-work space that is inside of chat, and it reads your files, acts inside a project. It's lighter, more guided, just to create routines and do tasks that require step by step, not just ask something in the chat. So this is more complex about doing tasks and creating files, PDFs, and everything. And then there's the code section that it's built end to end just for so that you don't have to code. You can use it inside the desktop app or inside the Visual Studio Code or in the terminal. There are these three main ways to use cloud code. It reads whole code bases, writes files, runs automations, commands, can create websites, apps, almost anything. And 99% of the time that I use cloud, I never use chat or cowork. I just always use cloud code. I use it inside the Visual Studio Code like 9 of 10 times, and maybe sometimes inside the desktop app. So I use it inside my Visual Studio Code that you can just go to Google and search Visual Studio Code and download it for Windows or for Mac. And inside the Visual Studio Code you have to go to extensions and search for cloud code and make sure it's by Anthropic and it has like that tick. You download it and you have it. Then you will have to sign in with your account. For using cloud code you need to have a paid plan, either the pro or the max plan. With the free plan you cannot use it, or you can also use it without a subscription but just paying API keys that it's more expensive. So I would recommend you choose buying a subscription and signing in inside Visual Studio Code. Then when you have the extension, you need to open a file, and this is the most important thing inside Visual Studio Code. It opens a folder. I call it my second brain or operating system, and you start from zero or can have some skills, and cloud code works with that folder and can create more skills, folders, files, markdown files, automations, anything. And it keeps putting all this inside like a memory that it's your second brain. So in the left you see your second brain, the whole folder. You can see through subfolders, through the skills, the agents, the markdown files, everything. And you can click and see it. And then in the left it's all the folder, and then in the other part you see you have the cloud code chat. It's the same with codex or kimi code. Like you have a chat, it's just like you would normally use it in a chat in the browser or inside the app, but you just have to talk about it, and it just you can put files or just send messages. It's like the same thing as chat. Then we have Lovable, that it's the second most used app I use. I started it by using Lovable before even Cloud because I wanted to create apps and websites and I didn't know how to code, so I used Lovable back then. But now Cloud Code can do all this stuff. So it's mainly to build websites and apps without writing code yourself. It's just like a chat. You just tell it what you want, you just give it the prompts, and you can see it visually in the right. You see the whole website or the app created, and you can click through it to see all the things if it works, and if you want to change something you just prompt it again and send that message to Lovable. So mainly websites and apps. And the great thing is that you can connect it to tools like Stripe. It has, and if you have to sign in with the Stripe, connect it, and it does all the stuff for you that maybe with Cloud Code this phase would be more difficult. You can also connect it to a domain, and that's it. It's publicly. You can also connect it to GitHub to save all these changes where the code lives, to Supabase for the rows, or you can add AI like API keys, secrets. There's a lot of things inside Lovable, but it's the easiest to create websites and apps because you can connect it to your domains in just a click, to Stripe for payments, and all the tools it has. So you just prompt it, tell it in plain language, and you can see it visually the whole website, and you can buy a domain, and then it's publicly for everyone. The next tool I use most is ElevenLabs. I use it for voice mainly because originally it was just voice, text to voice actors, audiobooks, all this voice category. But then now it has expanded. I have seen to creating images, ads, almost anything you can think of. So the mainly use it's for turning text into voice and for sound effects. You just give it a prompt for sound effects and it turns that into sound effects. You can adjust the seconds, the loop and everything. And then the text to speech, you just push the text, you select like the voice you want that says that, and then you click to generate and that's it. That voice says the exact text that you put, and it's great for text to voice, creating audiobooks or anything you can think of. So it's that voice of AI that you can connect it to tools. It has an API key, and you have like 10,000 credits free a month, and then if you want more plans you have to pay for that. Then I use Google Flow. That this one I use it a lot because I create images, icons, thumbnails. You can create almost all the sizes like a video image size, an icon or a vertical image. All these generations for free. You just paste the prompt, you can select an image to put a reference, you send it, and you can create instant images as much as you want them. And it's part of Google, it's Google Flow, and it uses Nano Banana 2 and Nano Banana Pro for the images. That these are one of the best models for images, and you can have it for free. So I tried like Hicksville, but I thought that it was too expensive, so I didn't end up using it. So I used Google Flow, and now I've I have used it a lot, and I'm not changing to Hicksville. It also has to generate videos like 8-second videos. It uses like the Gemini Omni video of Gemini and all these Google video maker, but it's just 8 seconds, and it's not as great as Hicksville from the video part because you cannot put like a scenes to make. You can only make one video of 8 seconds good, and that's it. You cannot connect it to another video and become all like a 3 minutes video. No, it's just one video of 8 seconds. So I use it mainly for everything, for images especially. I don't even use the video, but if I had to use them, it's great also, and it's a free option that it's worth it. Instead of paying for Hicksville, I use Google Flow. Then we have Gemini, that I use it for research or anything quick that I want to know about. That instead of searching it in Google, I just tell Gemini, and it's super fast, and it has all the context, all the data of research, all the Google, YouTube, all the Google ecosystem. So it's fast, good for quick things and answers that you want to search instead of Google, but it's not the just for that. For more complex tasks or anything more complex or more difficult, or creating websites, apps, PDFs, I use Cloud Code. Then we have ChatGPT, that it's mainly like if I don't pay like the more €100 subscription of Cloud, like the max subscription of Cloud, I split between the Pro subscription of Cloud and ChatGPT Pro subscription. So it's like more or less like Cloud Code. So I use Codex, or maybe the images of ChatGPT. I like them a lot for screenshots, or like the Apple Store images, but mainly Codex because it has these models like ChatGPT 5.6 Sol, Terra, and Luna that are very context, that optimize a lot the context and are the ones that perform best with that don't spend too much tokens. But mainly I prefer using Cloud Code. I've been always using it, so I haven't just changed to ChatGPT or use both. So now I only use Cloud Code. Then we have Keak, the one that I use mainly for the AI voice assistant to have in my MacBook screen in my computer, and I mainly create the routines. I connect it to the second brain to see it more visual, and also the connection with the iOS app that they have. That's the thing that I like most, because I can just send a WhatsApp message, but to the Keak app, or I can call my Keak, my agents, and tell them what to do, even if my laptop is closed or if it's open, to search something in my second brain, to do something in my computer. So it's an easy access. And inside Keak, I used to connect it the ChatGPT. That's why I use ChatGPT. And I also like it about like the anticipation intelligence, that something changes and it just tells me and say like, yeah, do that, or just skip it. And also about the connections to Google for creating calendar events, sending emails, or to more connections they have. Another great use case is that I use their Learn section, that it's like a combination of Duolingo and Notebook LM. So they have a subject that it's about artificial intelligence, and I'm doing it all the lessons and everything, and I learn all the vocabulary and everything about the AI, and helps me understand it better, so then I can use it better. So that's a great section that I really enjoy using. Then I have my own apps, the ones that I created that are only on my computer or on my mobile phone. The first app is the Canvas Studio, that it's an infinite whiteboard for planning videos, where I do all this visual video stuff that I share my screen. That it's the Canvas Studio, that you can see the arrows, the text, the notes with the headings, like with the logos of the things I'm talking about. All this creative studio, to instead of doing a website for the video and sharing it, or instead of doing a presentation, I did presentations, but I didn't like them so much, so I just thought of this and I said let's do it, and I created with Cloud Code, and it's called Canvas Studio. Then we have the Video Studio, that it's a naive screen recorder that replaces QuickTime and Lovable and other applications to record your screen, yourself, and the audio. Because first, when I got a Mac, I just thought about QuickTime, and I said it's going to be perfect for me to record videos for YouTube and everything. But then I use it, and I appear like too big, and that was the smallest I could make. I didn't really like it. It was like too cheap, and I didn't look good. Then I found out that it records the camera, the screen, and the audio, but it separates them, so you have the audio in an MP4, and then you have to connect them. But it costs a lot of tokens for me and Cloud to connect those, and it was just a waste of time. So I just said, I searched about how do other people do for this, and I found out about like an application that just 20 euros a month, and that you can put like the round circle or the quadrant, and it zooms in clicks or not. And I said, boah, I'm not going to pay 20 euros a month. I am really paying for Cloud Code. So I decided to build this video studio inside my MacBook. So now I record my screen like now, my camera, my screen, my audio. I can also connect it to my phone, and it will appear in my screen the exact mock-up of my phone, my iPhone, and I can see it in real time if I want to show something in my phone. It also puts everything into one file, not in separate. It doesn't separate the audio and the video stuff, so it's all together and it's easier to edit. It also, when I finish, I can also, there are hotkeys to pause and continue or to end, so it's easier if I want to do a little pause or anything. And also it saves that inside a folder that it's ready, so when it saves it, it's already there to edit it, so it's much more easier. And I just can also record just me like now, or I can change, like instead of the camera of the MacBook, to put the camera of my iPhone, and much more things it has. It also auto zooms in when you click, and you can also put like a teleprompter, you can change the size or anything. It has a ton of stuff and it's totally free, so this one is the best one, I think, that I have done. Then I have the YouTube tracker, because as I wanted to start this journey of becoming of having a YouTube channel with hundreds or thousands of followers and a lot of videos, visualizations to share all the knowledge and passion that I have about AI to everyone. At the first, I know that it takes a ton of videos for you to at least get to 100 sessions, then 1000, and so on. So you have to keep posting every day and posting at least a ton, hundreds or thousands of video to grow your channel, your YouTube channel. So I said it's going to be a long journey, and I want to be excited about this. I want to know that it takes me time, because I would just want to, in the first videos, just to go viral and that's it, but it doesn't work like that. You just keep improving every video and keep getting better, so then you get more views and you actually make more content, because you have done an amount of videos that made you improve. So I decided to create like a YouTube tracker app where I can see where it's connected to my channel with an API key YouTube. So I see my personal dashboard with my goals, my milestones, like the goals of how many videos I want to post at least, how many realizations in some videos, how many subscribers, followers, how many partnerships, and I can see all of the videos I have posted now, and it appears like the thumbnail, the title, and I click to it and I can see the visualizations, and same with shorts. So it's just a tool to help me improve and look at the thumbnails and visualizations, and to keep in my mind the goals and milestones that I want to achieve. Then the last app I created was Wall, that it's a scroll block thing that I use sometimes when I don't feel very good, I'm too weak, and I go to social media and scroll, and I know it's bad for me, so I just install a ton of apps to make that block, and that doesn't happen again, but it kept happening. So I decided to, let's make our own app, and it actually blocks everything that you tell it to. You cannot unblock it until 24, 48 hours or more, whatever you put it, and you cannot uninstall, like eliminate that app and just continue scrolling. No, you cannot do that. So it's impossible to go through that wall. So that's why I use it. I have it on my phone. And then there's the Learn Studio, that I have to, instead of going to YouTube and well, I also go to YouTube to learn and watch all these videos, but it has like shorts and ads and everything, so I created like a YouTube feed that I only choose those creators, and every time they post a video and publish a video, it appears to me, and when I have finished it, I mark it as done and it doesn't appear again, and I can get summary of the videos I have watched. And then there's a section of AI news that every day it appears like all the new AI tools, new AI updates, new AI updates of the tools I already use, and every day I have a new thing of this. So I am at the frontier of AI, and also if the creators are follow post a new video, I can watch them. So this has been all the tools that I use. I explained to you how I use them, why I have created them, what is the best use cases. So I hope you like it, and if you have heard a tool that you don't use before and want to try it, just try it and tell me what you think about it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
That's how I build, one person and every AI in public, the AI that matters, every day.